This is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update for August 22nd around 5 p.m. Here's the 2-day graphical tropical weather outlook from the National Hurricane Center. And we have 3 systems out there. We have a newly formed tropical depression number 7 in the far east Atlantic, southwest of the Cape Verde Islands, and this is forecast to become a hurricane and move into the North Atlantic, not affecting land. We have Invest 99L east of the northern Leeward Islands, and this is one everybody's keeping an eye on, so that's what I'm going to mainly focus on in this tropical update video. And then we have Fiona, which continues to hang on as a tropical depression to the southeast of Bermuda. And this system is moving into a wall of shear, but the warmer sea surface temperatures are allowing this system to continue to blow up, so it's surviving. And that may have future implications on what happens with 99L, which will probably become Hermine at some point. If we look at the Saharan air layer map from SIMS, you can see that the low to mid-level dry air continues to wrap into these systems coming off Africa. Look at TD number 7 out there with all that dry air wrapped all the way around it. But it'll mix out once it gets more northwest and gets away from this. It should develop rather nicely. But you can still see that air wrapping into these systems. Even the Invest 99L just to the east of the Leeward Islands, you have some dry air that's trying to wrap into the system. And the further west these systems get past 60, they generally tend to escape the dry air, and it's just a matter of dealing with wind shear at that point or land terrain that would disrupt the circulation. But once they get away from the dry air, they have a decent chance to develop. Now here's the close-up visible shot of Invest 99L, and the system is getting slightly better organized. It's kind of hard to pick out where the center of circulation is, but it's probably somewhere right around maybe 16 north, right where my mouse pointer is, around 52 west. And I'm going to show you a quick scat in a few minutes that's going to show you maybe something that contradicts where the center of this is, but that was a few hours ago, and these centers can bounce all over the place. And the European model does show this passing through the northern Leeward Islands, so the current feature now at Hurricane City is St. Martin. It was Dominica, but it appears now that the system, and it's a broad circulation, so all these islands are going to be affected by this system, especially the northern Leeward Islands, by gusty tropical storm force wind gusts as this tries to get its act together. The current wind shear analysis on this system shows that we have a ridge trying to build over the top of this system. It's been trying to do that all this time, but the problem is the dry air mixing in with the system and the wind shear on the northern portions of Invest 99L and the southern portions of Invest 99L are causing the system to struggle and become lopsided, but it's gradually getting in a more favorable environment. Now notice right north of that we have Fiona being just sheared like crazy by westerly wind shear, and that too is going to be moving in maybe a slightly more favorable area before more wind shear gets a hold of it, but it is forecast to become a depression passing just to the west of Bermuda. Now here's that ASCAT image I was talking about earlier, and it appears that this is picking up on the rotation right around 14 north and around 48 west, right where my pointer is here. But you know, the thing about these ASCATs is it's measuring the surface winds by the wave action, and this system is moving pretty quickly, and it has moved off to the west since this image was taken several hours ago. And again, the rotation moves all over the place, but I thought this was an interesting shot because it might be a little bit further south than what the indications are based on satellite imagery. Now here is the all-important sea surface temperature map, and this system is heading towards some much warmer sea surface temperatures north of Hispaniola, getting into the Bahamas. Some of these temperatures are 86, 87 degrees Fahrenheit, which is extreme fuel for hurricanes. And some of the models are indicating that this system may hang up for several days toward the end of the month, which could create some big problems. People in the southeast U.S. need to pay very close attention to what's happening with this system going late into the week here, as this could find itself in a more favorable environment. In fact, the European model indicates that this could head towards Florida and try to become a hurricane as it moves in. So all residents need to pay attention to this very closely. Here is the shear map from Unisys showing 48 hours. This is Wednesday, and you can see the aqua and blue areas would indicate wind shear, and this is about the location that what could become her mean. It's probably still going to be a depression or an open wave at this point, but look at the northwest wind shear, which would be on the northern side of the circulation, continuing to shear the system. So until it gets away from this, shear the aqua areas here and gets toward the Bahamas, it will struggle, but it could still become a tropical storm in this general vicinity where the wind shear is taking place in 48 hours. Now, switching gears for a minute, this is going to be Gaston heading towards Bermuda, in the general direction of Bermuda, into the weekend as a hurricane. Now, most of the models are indicating this is going to pass east of Bermuda and north into the Atlantic, and it wouldn't surprise me if this became a major hurricane. It's got everything going for it. It's going to be in a probably, especially when it's turning north, it'll be not going straight into the wind shear, but parallel to the wind shear, which would help with the strengthening, especially with the very warm sea surface temperatures southeast of Bermuda out here. This system could become a major hurricane. It wouldn't surprise me. And that also has implications for what could become Hermine out in here, with a large ridge of high pressure building over the top of what will be Gaston, would maybe help shove the system a little bit further to the southwest once it gets into the Bahamas, and that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on as a ridge builds over Gaston. But this will not be a threat to the United States, it looks like, in the long run. Most of the models do take it out. So to wrap things up, here are all three of our systems from the map at Hurricane City. You can see newly formed TD7 forecast to become Hurricane Gaston to the southeast of Bermuda. Bermuda's going to have to keep a very close eye on this system because it's not etched in stone that it's going to pass to the east of there. Just keep an eye on it. But the ridge over that system could nudge these other systems west. In fact, if you look at Fiona there, the models do bend off to the west. And those are the UK Met indicating there's going to be a hard left turn with what's left of Fiona. And that would also push 99L further to the west when it gets into the Bahamas. By the way, those models on Invest 99L are the best performers over the past 24 hours. The European model data is not in on those models yet. We wait until there's a named storm or a tropical depression, and then the European model data will be integrated into that. But right now, these are the best performers taking this system into the Bahamas. And again, these change every 24 hours. It's just a guidance of what model is performing the best. And you can click on those to see the information. Anyway, that's it for now. We're going to keep an eye on all three of these. I'll be back in a couple of days with another update on these systems. We'll have a much better idea for the threat of the United States going into the middle of the week here. And everybody should be advised to at least keep an eye on what's happening. Pay attention to the National Hurricane Center advisories. And that's it. We'll be back in a few days. Thank you for watching.